Hello, my name is Claire. I am from Lion Learners, and today we're going to be talking about rainforests. Now, rainforests are really, really important to our world. They are forests with lots and lots of trees tightly packed together, and there's a lot of rainfall, which is how they get the name rainforests. They're different from the forests we have in England because these are in areas where it's quite warm and quite tropical. Rainforests are found around a line of the earth that's called the equator, which is a big line that runs right round the centre of the earth. And the rainforests are found along it in places like South America, Africa, Asia and Australia. Now, rainforests themselves only make up about 5% of the Earth's surface, but they have around half of all the animals in the world living in them, which is an amazing amount. And about 90% of the world's invertebrates, and that's animals without backbones, so all the mini beasts, 90% of them live in rainforests. So they're really, really important to our world. So we are going to be learning today about all the different layers of the rainforest, and we're going to meet some animals along the way. So come on, let's meet the first layer and our first animal. Hello, we have come outside to meet our first animal and our first level of the rainforest. Well, the first level of the rainforest is called the forest floor. And it's exactly what it says it is. It's the bottom of the forest, the ground, the floor of the forest. And there you will get a lot of insects, a lot of invertebrates and a lot of mini beasts. You'll also get some bigger creatures like tapirs. But today we're going to meet an invertebrate. This is Millie, and she is a giant African train millipede. And my friend Rafe has come here to join us to learn about Millie. So Millie, as you can see, has lots and lots of beautiful legs. She has these beautiful feelers at the front and she uses them to feel her way around. Now what she would do, she would live on the forest floor in Africa, foraging for food, things like the fruit that's fallen from the trees. She also likes rotten leaves. She is what we call a herbivore, which means, Rafe, could you tell them what herbivore means?
Herbivores mean they only eat grass or leaves.
With grass and leaves, any plant, they only eat plants. Well done, Rafe. So herbivore means you only eat plants. So Millie here only eats plants. As she's what we call a train millipede, she's made up, I don't know if you can see, she's made up of lots of different segments. And each of these segments has 4 legs. On millipedes, all millipedes are made up of segments, and each of her millipede segments always has 4 legs. If she was a centipede, each of her segments would have 2 legs. But as a train millipede, Millie has a very special trick. She can add segments on. Just like you can add on carriages onto the end of a train, she can add on segments and get bigger and bigger and get more and more legs. So she could get up to 300 or 400 legs. She's probably got about 160, maybe a little bit more at the moment, but she's still growing. Rafie, would you like to hold her?
Yes.
Put your hands out over here, sweetheart. Oh, let's get you in the shot. So she is a very gentle mini beast. She's what we call an arthropod. She's very, very gentle. She's just feeling herself way along Rafe's arm and hand. How does she feel?
Tickly.
She feels tickly. All those legs feel very, very tickly. Okay, so that was our first layer of the rainforest. Can you remember what it was called? Yes, that's right. It's the forest floor. And here is a picture of it so you can see what it looks like. Right, we have come into our invertebrate and reptile house, which is where our millipedes also live, but we just had them outside for a little while. But we have come to learn about the next layer of the rainforest, and as you can see, we've got a special friend, or 2 special friends, here to help us. This is Finley, and on my arm here is Twiggy, the thorny stick insect. And look, there she goes climbing up my arm. Now, Twiggy is from the rainforests of Borneo. She would live in the second layer of the rainforest, and that is called, what do we call that, Finley?
The understory.
The understory. That is called the understory. And what it is, it's the bushes, it's the lower level branches, it's some of the tree trunks, it's that part of the rainforest. It's before you get all the green foliage at the top, and it's the bit between the forest floor and the green foliage at the top. And our stick insect here would live there. And what they would do, these are another herbivore, they only eat leaves. So they would live there eating the leaves. And as a thorny stick insect, she has these beautiful bumps along her back to look like thorns, and that is to put other insects off eating her. You will see she does look particularly stick-like. She's also got these beautiful feelers at the front to feel her way around. So in the understory, bigger animals that you might get living there are things like jaguars that would be basking in the lower branches. But you also, like all areas of the rainforest, get lots of insects. So that was our second layer of the rainforest. And can you remember what it was called? It was the understory. Well done for all of you who got that right. And here is a picture of it so you can see what it looks like with a jaguar basking in the sunlight. Great, on to our third layer. I've come back inside to talk about the third layer of the rainforest, and that is called the canopy. Now the canopy is the top of the rainforest, give or take a few trees. It's where the majority of the trees come together to form a big umbrella of foliage and leaves at the very top of the rainforest. Because the trees are so tightly packed together, the tops of them just form a one big layer of foliage, which gives a lot of cover for animals to live and hide in. And the animals that you might get up there include things like snakes, monkeys, you get birds like toucans, and you also get, you probably spotted him, animals like the lovely Diego. Now Diego is a crested gecko, and he is from an island called New Caledonia, which is off the coast of Australia. So he would live in the canopy of the rainforests there, and he would jump from tree to tree looking for food to eat, and he likes to eat things like fruit and insects. Here he goes. He's got a beautiful crest on the top of his head. This is how he gets his name. You may have noticed that Diego is missing something. You'll see here, he doesn't have a tail. Now Diego came to me like that. He is a rescue animal. Most of my animals are rescue animals. And as I just said, Diego came to me without his tail. Now all geckos can do a really clever trick called dropping their tail. And the reason they'd want to do that is if they were in the wild and an animal like a bird or something was trying to eat them, what they'd do is they'd wave their tail around, so the bird would be attracted to the tail. They'd like focus straight on the tail, and they'd grab hold of that. The gecko would then drop their tail and run off to safety to live another day, which is very, very clever. Now, lots of geckos can regrow their tails, but unfortunately crested geckos can't. So Diego no longer has his tail, but it doesn't hurt him not having his tail. He's quite happy to live without it. He is a very lovely boy. I'm just going to show you him walking. He's got very special feet. They have almost got suction pads on them. He can climb anything. He's a bit like Spider-Man. He can climb ceilings. He can climb walls. He's very, very clever. Okay, so who can remember the name of the third layer? That's right, it is the canopy, and here is a picture of it, and you can see all the trees coming together so thickly you can't even see through them, which makes the understory and the forest floor very, very shady indeed. Okay, we're now going to learn about our fourth and final layer of the rainforest. So we're on to the fourth and final layer of the rainforest,
and that is called the emergent layer, and it's when the tallest of the trees poke out from the canopy and come up above it. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the animals that you'd find there because it's things like birds of paradise and eagles and blue morpho butterflies, not the kind of thing that you could keep at home. But I do have a picture of it to show you. Here we are. This tree right here would be the emergent layer, the tree that's come out from the canopy and risen above it. So to recap all the different layers of the rainforest, here they are. We have at the bottom the forest floor, then we have the understory, the canopy, and then the emergent layer. And they are your 4 layers of the rainforest.
Right, if you're looking for some rainforest themed things to do at home, there will be at the bottom of this, I will put a link to some downloads where you can get some worksheets about rainforests that the children can do at home. There's also loads of craft stuff that you can do. Down here we have started, actually Finny, could you hold that up for me? We have started making our own rainforest. We just used an old box. We have used the inside of toilet rolls to make for trees with tissue paper coming out the top. We've painted it and we've added in some animals. So you can make your own rainforest. You can also do some pictures. Finny, would you like to show a picture? This is a picture Finny has done as Diego having a nice bit of fruit smoothie there. And what I'll do as well is I will put some photos of the animals if you guys would like to draw them as well. I'll add them on at the end. Okay, great. Well, goodbye from us. You can say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Finley, and we will see you on our next video.